everybody, my name is Puppetine from the Geeky Puppet Show here on the Geeky Puppet Show today! For what? For Moon Knight.
Yes!
Yes, you thought I was going to yell it too. No. I can hear a disappointed Breen somewhere in the audience. But yeah, that's him. There we go. But we're here today to read Moon Knight issue 3. The Frog has finally convinced me that we need to continue this epic series, as it were. But before we get into the book, let's go ahead and meet our cast. As mentioned before, it is Froggy.
Hello, it is me, the living icon. Worship me.
No. And if you look below, you can see him right there. He's somebody's future, but he's currently our present. It is Trusty Sidekick.
Just happy to be here. Hope I can help the ball team.
You can.
We're playing sports ball today? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, Slugger. And of course, we have Maranya here today.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, and now it is time to go ahead and look at the book. But before we do that, I always have to turn off my camera.
So take a look. It's in a book. It's Geeky Puppet Show readings.
Yeah, that's not going to be our new theme song, Froggy.
No.
We already have one.
Puppeting in the sky.
Moonlight.
Get some high.
Midnight means murder. This previously published content includes negative depictions of... We're skipping over this.
Hey!
Stanley!
Outrage.
Moon Knight. Midnight means murder, as previously stated. Another lunar night. But I'm not reading all of that. But thank you to staff writer Doug Moench right here.
And thank you to exclusive photos from Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, jeez. Parker's slacking, isn't he?
Yep. You gotta get the guy with the whole entire kitchen sink.
Saturday night. A mugging in progress. Goes no further.
Well, Turkey, how does it feel to play victim for a change?
It is almost midnight. While at a museum across town, the Midnight Man adds a new prize to his collection. Escaping as a nearby cathedral tolls, dirge-like 12 times. Sunday night, in the shadows, beyond lurid flame, an arsonist giggles before being braced by a deeper crescent shadow. That was unnecessary.
This way, friend. Time to go to fire department on your way to the police station. Too bad they don't mail insurance checks to jail cells.
And in a penthouse apartment only blocks away. Click. Jing, jing, jing.
Let the trolley.
Delightful.
Jing, jing, jing.
What's that? Oh, my midnight sounds from the living room. Windows open, and my French automate, it's gone.
And now it is midnight. Monday night, a slick hitman crouches across from the offices of the Daily Bugle. Jonah, watch out! Oh, wait, that's not you. Spinning oiled silence onto a piece of death. The last deadline has been made, and a weary reporter heads for a home he may never again enjoy, if not for What? Moon Knight?
Indeed. And I ask you, is there any way to treat a fine investigative reporter? I mean, look at him. He looks awesome. But who's about to conclude a series on an organized crime? You son of a...
And this time, just around the corner on Broadway. Tonight, only Miss Jeanette's costume will include the fabulous Heco's diamond necklace.
Special midnight performance.
Yeah. A theater is jammed with late-night patrons more interested in the Hercos necklace than in the star wearing it. One such is so moved by the
Baroquely.
glittering gem that he actually leaves his box seat for a closer look.
Oh, the necklace.
That's not a look, that's a touch.
He stole the necklace.
The midnight performance concludes, its star upstaged. As predicted by the bugle, the paths of moon and midnight grow closer, destined to cross. Tuesday morning at Grant Mansion, where one man lives under many names. Stephen Grant, Mark Spector, Jake Lockley, and Moon Knight, among others.
James Bond?
No, not James Bond.
Morning, Samson.
Morning, Delilah.
Netta will have breakfast ready in 20 minutes.
Okay, Marlene. Just let me hit the bag a few more minutes, and then I'll take my steam bath.
As you wish, Stephen. But in case you haven't noticed, I'm waiting with bated breath. Who are you today?
Huh?
What clothes do you want?
Oh, give me a lock, please.
15 minutes later, in the steam bath.
Why, Lockley?
Thought I'd sniff out a little scandal, and Lockley's got the best nose, or at least that's the best connections.
And so, at breakfast,
You can't bluff me, mister. You're going after this midnight man.
He's goading me, Marlene. Playing Jack the Ripper with these taunting letters in the paper.
But he's not the Ripper. He's just a common, if clever, thief.
I don't know what he has to do with Pitt winning, but okay.
Pittsburgh. So whoever claimed these were beneath me, lady?
That's not what I mean. I just worry sometimes. You're too eager to accept challenges. Besides, have you forgotten the charity bash you're hosting tonight? There's plenty to do around here, Stephen Grant.
I'll be back in time. How long does it take to shuck Lockley's rags and shrug into the Grant's tux? And don't worry about me so much. You're forgetting who I am. I'm Batman.
Knew that was coming.
It's easy to do, dear Stephen. Excuse me, dear Jake. You've got so many different names, identities, and moods. Even you forget who you are half the time.
Makes life interesting, lady. Too boring being just one character. Maybe I should have been an actor. After all, life's a stage.
The whole world's a stage.
That too. Time to hit the streets. Great breakfast, Netta.
Hey!
That's why there's a warning in the beginning.
There you go.
Man! Yes, Netta, and you do mean the plural.
Out front, the butler looks like he's just kissed a snail.
Oh!
Really, sir, don't you think this vehicle could use a washing once in a while? It's
Pardon my disguise, Samuels. The dirt has got to look like a real New York cabbie. And then the real New York cab. Tell Frenchie to give the chopper a once-over, will ya?
Oui.
Very well, sir. But I do wish you'd make up your mind one of these days. Polish the Mercedes and peel the cab's paint. Press the suit and rumple the jeans. Oh, dear.
Convinced the whole world is conspiring against his dignity. The very proper butler named Samuels nevertheless hastens to obey his latest directive, taking the elevator to the Grant Mansion's rooftop helipad.
Master Frenchie?
No reply, and an impish thought, sparked by the sight of the gleaming Crescent helicopter, catches his fancy. First he looks left, then right.
Seems no one's around. Should I? Yes, by Jove, why not? I've always wanted to do this, just to see what it's like. Vroom, vroom!
Vroom! That is all you have to say for yourself, Samuels?
Oh, Master Frenchie, I didn't know you were...
But that is already obvious, oui? And now, what can I do for the darling air ace?
Oh, nothing. Mr. Luckley, that is Mr. Grant, wishes you to overhaul this helicopter immediately.
But that is what I am doing. Why not?
Yes. Well, see that you keep it up.
Oui, Samuels. I was just about to try you out. Would you care for a little ride?
Certainly not. It's undignified for a man of my...
Oui, Samuels, I understand. But we can all dream, no? Late afternoon.
After cruising all day with no luck, guess it's time to try Old Reliable. Hey, Gina. How's the kids?
Older one's growing up since you gave him a job, Lockley. Doesn't want to be king of the ghetto anymore. Now he'll sell for being a purple paisley prince on Park Avenue.
Say, Crawley, I got a little present for you.
A present for me, Jake. Oh, this is it. It's a new chapeau.
Got any dope on the Midnight Man? Where's he fencing his booty?
Oh, I don't really want to talk about his booty all that much.
Then he ain't getting no chipoo.
I might. Oh no. But a man of my gentlemanly upbringing cannot be bribed by gifts of this nature, sir.
There's a $20 bill in the gym, Carly.
In that case, to answer your question as pithily as possible, no. Howsomever, what is that word? Howsomever, perhaps the gentleman across the avenue at Q's Billiard Emporium might be able to help. I shall endeavor to escort you, Jake, if you so wish.
Yeah, lead the good way, my man.
Don't forget to take your tea bag, Crawley. You only bought it last Tuesday.
I never forget my tea bag. Ever. And after the pool hall introductions...
No, we ain't heard nothing about anything sitting on a fence. Not since midnight or any other time. Have we, men?
Now, why can't I speak as smoothly as that? No, not a thing.
Do tell. Well, if anyone has a memory of the attack, I'll be out in the alley in 15 minutes,
Clack.
No.
And then, when Lockley has slipped like smoke from the hall.
Who was that guy, Crawley? Fuzz?
Certainly not. I keep company in a higher social stratum than that. Indeed, Jake Lockley pays exceedingly high recompense for relevant information. You sharks would do well to rip some off for yourselves. But at least get some for yourselves.
Yeah?
A link, 2 nods, and conspiracy is born. In the alley,
He said 15 minutes, which gives us 5 more before we grab his money. You two hide behind them trash cans and...
shatunk.
That wouldn't be too smart, boys. If you grab his money, how would he pay you for the info you're going to give me for free? But first, I need whiskey.
The Moon Knight! Get it! Ugh!
Swak, chud, splam.
The Midnight Man. What do you know about him? Where does he fence his loot?
He don't fence it. Far as I know, he must keep it. But the word is, he's gonna take you on tonight.
Me? How?
I don't know. Alls I know is he's gonna fix it somehow. Bait an offer you can't refuse. Honest, it's coming down tonight. Big.
Thanks for the information. Now, if you'll excuse me, it appears I've got an interesting night ahead. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Crowley played his part to the T. Glad I put him on the Moon Knight's payroll, along with Gina's son. But right now, it's getting late. And it wouldn't look right for me to go miss Grant's shindig. Almost like being late for my own party.
You're late, Stephen. Or is it still Jake?
Nope. Jake Lockley has just retired for the evening, my dear Marlene. I am Francisco tonight.
That's fun to say.
Oh.
As of right now, I'm Stephen Grant, prominent multi-millionaire and suave host of charity fundraisers.
Then hurry and get dressed, Schizo. The guests will be here in 10 minutes. Chances are they'd appreciate a brief appearance by the host.
Stephen Grant suppresses a Lockley grin. Gaining full control of his new persona some 30 minutes later.
And now, if I may have your attention, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present the host of this benefit and the best boss I've ever had. Indeed, the best of many bosses I've got right now, Mr. Stephen Grant.
The murmur of mannered voices fade. The tinkle of jewelry louder. That shouldn't be funny. Louder now as beautiful people reeking of money shift toward the podium.
Flirting with danger, aren't you, darling? And by the way, keep your eyes peeled for an offer I can't refuse.
You bet your... Huh?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've already made your donations, so I won't rub any salt into the wound with a long-winded speech. Eat, drink, and be merry, or at least be elegant. End of speech.
The murmur returns as Grant drifts into the gathering.
Best speech I've almost heard in years, Grant.
Thank you, Mr.
Mogart. Anton Mogart. My card.
the art collector of the course. Yeah. How's the price of a canvas these days?
High. Very high. As a matter of fact, I'd like to speak to you about it privately.
This private enough for Mogart?
Indeed. Bit of a
I'm your dad.
collector your-
Oh, go ahead.
Bit of a collector yourself, Grant.
I'm your dabbler. One must do something with one's money and walls, and somehow George Washington's wallpaper is just a trifle gauche. What's on your mind?
Fear, Mr. Grant.
Wrong
I,
comic
unders-
book.
I understand an acquaintance of yours happens to be a soldier of fortune named Mark Spector, who contracts for certain dangerous undertakings.
Ah, so you've done your homework, Mogart. What sort of contract do you have in mind?
Protecting some paintings from imminent theft by the Midnight Man. The fee would be, let us say, $100,000. These canvases, you see, are valuable.
It would seem so. How do you know the Midnight Man has his sights set on him?
By the most direct means possible. He told me so, in an extremely literate note. He plans to relieve me of the paintings tonight.
Score him for high and for Audacity Way. Or Audacity Way. Whatever, which way you want to take it. Have you informed the authorities?
They would only bungle it. Besides, if you don't mind candor, there are certain details concerning my acquisition of the paintings which I'd just as soon keep from the police. Collector's mania, you know.
Of course, yeah. Spectre owes me a favor. I'll subtract to him the job and in his behalf. And even though he'd prefer the cash, I'll take the trade. I'll take the payment in trade.
Oh?
The walls, Mogart. This one, for instance, I've handled the sides rather nicely, but the center is still somewhat lacking.
With a wry smile, Anton Mogart says,
Very well. In trade.
and later, as the gala night wears on,
I'll have to leave soon, Marlene. Got employment at midnight. An offer I can't refuse.
Oh, Stephen, no.
Yep. Have you seen Anton Mogart?
He left 20 minutes ago.
Then I have to leave right now.
But you're the host.
I told you. I just got invited to a better party. Fill in for me. Ready, Frenchie? Oh, sorry.
ah! Oh! Oui, Mark, on a moment's notice.
Nina's little girly mag.
Then let's see action.
There was plenty of that in my magazine, but if you insist on the other kind,
Oh, he's got
Yeah.
a little crescent moon on his hat.
we are gone, no?
Yes, Frenchie.
Oh, what the devil? I thought I saw something flash past the window.
Look, it's a helicopter, strangest one I've ever seen. It looked like it almost hit the roof.
The sky is falling.
Only in Jersey, Frenchie.
And we need more cowbell.
The home of Anton Mogart. The address sound of it like overlooks a river. Time?
11:15, Mark. Is it a trap?
Let's just say I've been baited for a midnight, and I wouldn't be surprised if the bait turns out to be bogus.
You mean...
I mean, the cat may be disguised as cheese. That's the one, Frenchie. The Gothic monstrosity with all the gables.
Clock able?
No.
Oh,
Good try, though. Here's where I bail out, quiet as a mouse, but ready to tangle with any black-ass midnight cat crosses my path. After all those canapes, I don't have the taste for cheese anyway. Stick around to pick me up when I call you, Frenchie. Glider capes
would you like
work.
me to give you a canapé?
Maybe later. Glider capes working like a champ. How about the call microphone?
Oui, Mark. I read you loud and clear.
Good. I'm going to use a crescent dart to pry the window open.
That's
then
great.
I'm going to walk inside. And then I'll kick a few steps.
I'm going to breathe in and breathe out.
And from now on, Frenchie, we keep the two-way cheddar cut to nothing short of disaster. No sports ball. Mom's the word.
Sprung.
My condolences, madam, but better you than me. Still, I was under the impression that the price of cannabis was high. Eh? Light just come on.
I thought you said you were going to keep the chatter short, Mark.
I'm talking to my other personalities. Leave me alone. The Midnight Man!
As the news scrivener said, like the moon and midnight, our paths were destined to cross.
Especially since the police were too bungling for you.
They're handicapped. There are too many of them, and they tend to get in each other's way, tripping over too many rules and regulations. With us, it's different, Moon Knight.
So our meeting was...
Inevitable. As inevitable as death.
Why is that, do you suppose?
Because you're the only one who might stop me, sooner or later. I prefer sooner, so I can eliminate you and get on with my business.
You've never killed before.
I've never had to. But there comes a time for every necessity, every need.
Yeah, I know. Collector's mania.
The truncheon is whipped from the darkness of his enfolding cloak, seeking not the enemy, but a more pervasive darkness. Bram, bram. And even as the truncheon falls from the shattered chandelier, the now ghostly figure of the Moon Knight follows it down the stairwell, ducking bullets all the way. Bram.
Now we'll see, Midnight Man, who's the cat and who's the mouse.
There is no reply. As the Midnight Man scurries down the darkened stairs, following the sound of Moon Knight's voice. But at the bottom, Chuck.
Over there?
No! Back here!
Whack.
That sound you heard was just my calling card.
Whack.
And this sound is just to let you know I've arrived. Whereas the next sound you hear
Blash.
just might signal your departure. Nice trinket in your display case here, Mogart. Even if it did have an extremely limited run on Broadway. But then, I understand your performance with it. It was standing room only. Indeed.
Moon Knight.
I want to read them all.
A pity you will find it difficult to stand for my next performance.
Chump.
That was a chump move, too.
Guess again, Mogart.
Swack. Fwack.
No, the elevator. It's in the basement.
And now are you? Oh, sure. You'll find it for I'm sure. Why, Mogart? Why do you do it?
Why does one do anything? For love, ego, to pass the time, for greed. I've chosen greed.
Check.
Perhaps should you try to rise above it before you put down for good.
Whoomp.
I think not, Moon Knight. You see, greed is the purest motivation. The others tend to get sticky with complications. And, too, greed is in my blood. I must possess things. Claim them. Take them. Whether they're yours to take or not.
The elevator halts at the top floor, spilling its contents.
Yes. But there are always beautiful things, such as these oriental daggers.
Now we know what the warning was for.
Or a human life.
Anton Mogart lunges, dagger held high, face a snarling mask. But the Moon Knight falls back, catching the knife hand, kneeing up and back, and both men crash out onto the gabled rooftop. Not the Clark gabled rooftop. Downstairs, the antique grandfather clock ticks ever closer to the apparent truth of the police chief's vow. Midnight round here means murder, which we would have seen if we had read the article. Only one question remains to be determined. Who will be the victim? Who will be the cat? And who will be the mouse?
And who will eat at Joe's?
A laugh of dark fate that such a question could be determined.
I have to know.
If it's the mouse, then he's going to want a cookie.
By the chance slip of a booted heel on a loose shard of glass.
Now, Moon Knight. Now it ends. Now you die.
And yet, with superb reflexes, the Moon Knight unsnaps his truncheon,
Hey now.
prepared to ward off the fatal stab. He will never know, however, if he is destined to succeed. Screech! Instead, a lighter fate takes the matter in hand.
I was right. It's Mogart.
Ram.
Ugh!
And the question is settled in a flash and a crack. Wrong order, but I was distracted by the bodysuit.
Sure
Which
you
one? Mogart, hang on to the kitchen noises.
Can't. Slipping on the glass. Going to fall.
Plash.
His opera cape. It ripped free. I couldn't stop him. He's gone.
3 minutes to midnight. How long can a wounded man hold his breath?
If it really wasn't necessary, Marlene, I would have stopped him. Besides, I'd rather like the man.
You read your line, Top.
He was refreshingly psychotic.
At least you're alive to pass judgment, Stephen. Now let's get out of here before the police arrive.
Don't be so impatient, lady. I'm merely selecting my fee. This what'll do. Come and get us, Frenchie.
What do you mean, your fee? And what are you doing with that picture of a clown in front of a burning house?
It's a long story, Marlene. Having a lot to do with walls.
A big wall. Huge wall. Greatest wall, and he's gonna pay for it. Epilogue.
What? Well, at least you picked the perfect day for visiting the art museum, Stephen. And wait a minute. These two paintings look familiar, and so does that third one, the clown in front of the burning house. Stephen, you gave these paintings away?
Not me, lady. You're confusing me with someone else. Donated by Mark Spector.
Returning to Grant Mansion.
But why, Stephen?
I learned a lesson from Mogart. Collecting does bad things to the blood. Besides, there's still too much of Vagabond Spectre in my blood. Too little of Collector Grant.
More's the pity. But what about that blank spot on the wall?
You mean this spot? I'm using it as a bulletin board or a memo pad. They dragged the river and never found his body, so I'm using his cape as a reminder. He'll be back for it someday. He's too much a collector to let it remain at large.
I have an uncanny feeling that you're absolutely right, Stephen.
Oh? Now there's a refreshing switch. For once, you agree with me.
Believe me, I have little choice. You see, my gun is always fired a trifle wide. And with you and Mogart struggling so close together, I couldn't trust it with anything but... You cut off her line. Rubber bullets.
Boink. I didn't cut it off. It cut it off for her. Next, 5 deadly hitmen out for Moon Knight's blood. Plus a resolution of the earlier false origin presented in Werewolf by Night. A committee of 5.
Dun dun dun.
The end. We want to thank you so much for joining us for that fantastic story. And I'm going to go ahead and get the ticker. I can hear Froggy in my mind reminding you to please like and subscribe. Also comment. Did you enjoy the book? Did you enjoy our performance? Will Froggy ever learn what a... Oh, I forgot what it was. Canapé. No. Something. Will I ever learn what a canapé is?
It was canapé.
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 Thank you. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Bonds.
One man.
Au revoir.